Alright guys, so this is Candy here. If you remember, last time we componentized this part of our UI. At the end of it, this button actually did nothing. But I did some code and I wrote a blog and linked it to this button. So when I click on this, it just links us to the blog. But the problem with it is not like a functional problem, but if we scroll down, what we see here is my blog section also includes this non-technical blog, which I do not want the viewers to see. Even in this blog, this is a non-technical blog, and this is also a non-technical blog, but here I would want to show only the technical blog that I have written. So how can we do that? First of all, I would like to tell you that this data is coming from a GraphQL endpoint, right? So in this tutorial, we want to explore how we can eliminate or filter these blogs that are non-technical and only show the technical blogs. In this way, we are going to learn how we can interact with the GraphQL endpoint. Let's look at it. So first, what I did was, as we can see, when we browse the blog and go at the end of it, we see that it allows us to add these tags to our blogs, right? So let's check some other blog like this one. And if we are going to scroll down, we can add these tags, right, to our blogs. So what if we can add a blog that specifies that this blog needs to be shown or showcased? So for that, what I did was I added another tag to the blog, showcase, okay? So this is Hashnode. This is where I publish my blogs. And so what I did was I just added the showcase tag to all the blogs that I want to display here on my site. As you can see, when we click on view all blogs, this is a technical blog. So let's just click on it and just scroll down. And there we have a showcase tag here as well. So what we are planning to do in this tutorial is we're going to filter the blogs on the basis of these tags. All right. So what you see here, this URL is actually a GraphQL endpoint of Hashnode. So it's a public endpoint. So if I'm just going to click new and paste this URL here, you can see that Postman starts to introspect this endpoint, and it gives us what things we can query. So let's say if we want to query users, what we do is we just check it, and here it allows us to provide input. So we want to get information about our own user, and this is all public information, so it's not an issue. It does not need any authorization token or something like that. So when we click on query, do we have some problem here? Username of the user to retrieve. If we go here, let's see what's our username. It's this. Paste. Yeah. All right. So here you can see that we query the details that we wanted. Now, what we can also do is we can eliminate the details that we do not want. So let's say I do not want the ID, which is something that you might want, but in this case, we do not want it. Okay, so let's query it, and you can see the ID disappears from the results. And let's try this again. Let's get rid of this isPro flag. So we uncheck this, query, and it disappeared from the results. You would also see that when you uncheck something from here, it also gets removed from this query, right? So if you're going to uncheck follows back, we can see that follows back gets removed from here. When we check it, it is added back to our query. So writing query part is almost done by the Postman, and it's quite easy to use. So let's not save this and see what we have here. So here, what we are accessing is this host, and we want 10 records. These are the details that we are accessing right now to make it look something like this that we have on the screen. What we want is we want to query tags. Just simply, we're just going to go, we're just going to follow the hierarchy, right? So here we have publication. Publication has post. Just scroll down, scroll down. Here we have post, edges, node. This is post, edges, node. We want to expand node because this is where our detail exists for the blog. So here the node actually means the blog. Here we have the title of the blog, brief, URL, cover image, etc. Now we also want to query the tags of it. So here we have tag, and in tag we want to query slug. So slug is basically this information right here, the thing that we are calling tag. All right. Now, when we check this, obviously the tags also get checked. Let's query the results. And this time we're just going to click on table to make it look somewhat better. And click on edges. Now, as you can see that there are a total of 8 records right now. And you can see that it is still querying the blog that we do not want to see here. So this is also a non-technical blog, and it's still here. So we just want to query a blog that contains a tag that is showcase. As you can see in this blog, task scheduling in Linux using cron jobs contains tags, right? And these tags are Linux, cron job, cron, and the last one is showcase. So this is the blog that we want to query. Now, how can we do that? Let's see. Do it like this. And as you can notice, when you're gonna go to the publications, just scroll down, and we have post. Now, in post, these are the filters that we can use with the post. And if we're going to basically expand filters, we want tagSlugs. So let's just check it. And if you notice in the query, we did not have tagSlugs in the query. Let's just confirm that again. If we're going to uncheck it, it disappears. All right. So when we check it, we have it here. Now here, what we're going to do is we're going to just type showcase. All right. And what it allows us is it allows us to filter the blogs that have tagSlugs showcase. click on query and see the data. So now we have like total 4 blogs, and it is expected result. We have a blog with tag showcase. Here it also has tag showcase. With this blog, we also have the tag showcase. And even in this one, we have the tag showcase. So it is expected response, and that's great. Now we have this fully formed query, which we can copy. Okay, so we are just going to copy it, and let's move to Visual Studio. Let's just look at app settings. So as you can see that this is the app settings file, and here we have the hash node configuration, which holds the base URL for our GraphQL endpoint, right? And if we're going to go in our services, here we have a BlogGraphqL service, and this is the query, which is very similar to this one. We just want to replace this string, just make it one liner. Okay, so now we have this query in one line. We're just going to remove the old string and paste the new string. Okay, great. It is creating a query object. It holds query and the variables. We're not using variables for now. And it just takes this object and serialize it into JSON, and we make it string content and then pass it to our HTTP post request, as you can see here. And HTTP content, this is actually string content inherits from HTTP content. Byte array content, yeah. So you see byte array content inherits from HTTP content. So we just pass it here, we get the response, we check if it's a successful status, else we return null. And is success status code true? If it is false, then it returns null. We can do something else with it, but for now, I think it's fine. Now, when we have the data, what we do is we deserialize the response, and then we map to local block. So it is more like a smart version of REST APIs. We do not want to change what information we want to display, so it does not need any change. Okay, so it's starting. As you can see, we have the query. Let's see what we get in the response. Response is null, which is weird. Wait. We actually have something in response. Wasn't null. It was not null. So here we have posts. Here we have edges, items. Here we have our blogs. And as you can see, now we are not seeing any non-technical block here, which is what we wanted. Now, if we go on the front end, as you can see, now we're not seeing any non-technical blogs. And we can actually notice the difference here. You see that this blog is no longer visible. This blog is visible because it's a technical blog. This blog is not visible because it is a non-technical blog. And this one is visible because this is a technical blog. Now, that's how we work with the GraphQL endpoint. It is pretty much same, but it is somewhat better. I don't know if you have come across it. OData work very similar, in a very similar way. This is OData, and what they say is like OData, best way to rest. Well, if you're curious about knowing OData, let me know. Maybe we can discuss OData next in our next tutorial. Thank you for watching and have fun.